If you're looking for a way to make more money, whether you're broke or don't have a degree or don't know where to start or don't feel qualified, there's two things that you need to do. What's up everybody, I am Jaspreet Singh from the minorityMindset.com where money minds rethink rich. Let's jump right into today's video. If you're broke and you want to have more money or you want to make more money, there's two things that you need to do and there's two things that you need to address. You need to first look at the financial side of things and then you got to look at the mental side of things. The financial is how you attract the money and it's what you do with the money you get. The mental is what's keeping you in this place where you are right now. The last thing you want to do is start making money. So you're working on the financial side of things, but you're not working on the mental side of things. So now you're making more money, but you're not changing the habits that you had in the first place. And so yeah, you can make more money, but you're gonna end up in the same place you were before. Broke. Let's start by understanding the financial. Here are 10 ways that you can start earning more money right now, even if you're broke or don't have a degree or feel like you don't have any qualifications. First, you can deliver groceries for people through apps like Amazon or Instacart or Shipt. You go onto one of these apps and apply to be one of the delivery drivers. And now, anytime you get an order, you're gonna go to the grocery store, pick up the groceries, and drop it off to the owner's house. If you do this extra grocery delivery service on the side, you can make an additional $200 to $500 a week, depending on what area you live in and how much work you're willing to put in. You can rent out an extra room or your bedroom or your basement or your entire house on Airbnb to somebody else. If you're not going to be home for a weekend or for a week or for a month, well, now you can rent out your home or your bedroom or whatever you have to somebody else and let them pay you rent for living in your property. Depending on where you live and how big your space is, this can earn you an extra $100 to $1,000 a weekend and you don't gotta really do any work. You can drive people around as an Uber or a Lyft driver. Now you're gonna apply to be a driver through Uber or Lyft, and when people want to ride, whether it's to the airport or to go to their friend's house, you're gonna get that notification, you pick them up and you drop them off and you get paid to do that. From what I read online, you can expect to make something like $15 an hour, but don't forget to factor in the cost of your car and your gas and your insurance. You can be a dog walker. People spend more money on their dogs than they do their kids. And so if somebody has a dog and they're busy at work all day and they don't have time to walk their dog, they will pay you to walk their dog for them. Depending on where you live and how many dogs you're walking, you can expect to make $15 to $40 per walk and you're getting some exercise. You can deliver food on Grubhub or Postmates or DoorDash. This is kind of like delivering groceries with Instacart or Amazon. Now instead of delivering groceries, you're going to deliver food. So if you get a notification that somebody wants P.F. Chang's, you're going to go to P.F. Chang's, pick up the order and drop it off and you get paid. You can expect to make $200 to $500 a week depending on how much time you put in. You can mow people's lawns or shovel their snow. Just walk around your neighborhood and knock on people's doors, or if you don't live in a neighborhood, go to somebody's neighborhood and knock on people's doors and ask them if you can mow their lawn or shovel their snow. This is an easy way to make $20 per house. If you're young and juicy and you got some muscle and maybe a truck too, then you can move people's stuff. If you own a truck and you don't mind lifting things, you can make a lot of money just helping people move things from one house to another. All you gotta do is go into Craigslist and put an ad out there for your services and you can make $100 for just a couple hours of work. The next few that I have are digital and you can do all of these from the comfort of your home. You can be a freelancer using something like Fiverr or Upwork. The way it works is you are gonna market your skills on Fiverr or Upwork. So whether that's social media marketing or writing or coding or design, or if you don't feel like you have any skills, you can just market yourself as a virtual assistant. Now you can get paid just to answer people's emails. And so now when you put your ad up on Fiverr or Upwork, businesses who need help can hire you as a freelancer. These gigs can pay you $15 to $50 an hour depending on how experienced you are, and if you find a good client, this will be repeat work week after week after week. You can be an affiliate marketer. The way affiliate marketing works is now you are selling somebody else's product on the internet, and anytime somebody buys that product from you, you get paid. So for an example, let's say you're into fitness and you become an affiliate for a protein supplement that you really like. Now you're gonna market this protein supplement, whether it's through Instagram or you create a blog or you advertise it. So you're marketing this protein supplement, and anytime you can sell this protein supplement, you might make $15. The great thing about affiliate marketing is you are marketing somebody else's product. So you don't have to worry about manufacturing a product or customer service or anything like that. All you have to do is drive the sales. In the beginning, as an affiliate marketer, you are gonna make no money. But if you stick with it and you put in the work day after day after day, in 6 to 8 months, you can very comfortably be making $1,000 a month on the side as an affiliate marketer. And finally, you can put out content on YouTube or podcast. I can tell you from personal experience that you can make a ton of money creating content. but it's very difficult. In the first 12 months of me making YouTube videos, I made less than $3,000. It took me with Minority Mindset about 3 years before we really started to make decent money off of YouTube. So if you plan on creating content, this is not something that you can really rely on to make money right away. This is something that can take you years to really pick up. But if you like the idea of creating content, and you like the idea of putting out information, that this can be something you do for the long term. The vast majority of people on YouTube make less than $100 a month. Now, you can make a whole lot more money than $100 a month, but it's not gonna happen overnight, and there's no way to really predict how long it's gonna take. This is the financial side of things. If you're broke right now, start doing one of these things, that way you can make money. Then as you start making money, make sure you use your money the right way. I already made a video on YouTube where I went over the things you need to do as soon as you get paid. If you want to watch that video, I will link it for you in the description below. But you also have to ask yourself, how do you master the mental part of being financially successful? How do you master the mental part of becoming wealthy? It's not going to happen just by making more money. I mean, if that was the case, then you wouldn't see the vast majority of lottery winners be bankrupt or broke just 5 years after winning the lottery. And you wouldn't see the vast majority of NFL players broke or bankrupt just 5 years after retiring from the NFL and making a big salary. Now, obviously, some of that has to do with the way you spend your money, but you also have to understand the mindset part of things. The very first thing you want to do is you got to stop setting boundaries for yourself. Don't give yourself a ceiling. You've probably heard people say that you are the average of the 5 people around you. And the reason why this is true is because all of us, whether you want to believe it or not, live in a bubble. We are surrounded by our family and our close friends, and these are the people that influence us the most. And so what we see is what we do. If everybody you know is broke, all of your friends are broke, your parents are broke, how are you gonna learn to become wealthy? And how are you gonna learn how to use your money the right way? And how are you gonna learn how to earn more money? I mean, if all you see is broke, how are you gonna break out of that system unless you break out of that bubble? I grew up in a traditional Indian house, and everybody around me had the same beliefs and the same mindset. Everybody said that if you want to become successful, all you gotta do is be a doctor. So go to school, study hard, get good grades, go to medical school, become a doctor, and now you are automatically going to be successful. And anytime I would talk to somebody about anything else, investing, money management, I was always shut down because nobody would talk about it. Nobody in my circle knew what investing was. Nobody had heard of real estate investing. Nobody had heard of how you could build wealth without being a doctor. And so I wasn't exposed to anything else because I lived in this bubble. That's when I started reading, because reading was the only way that I could start accessing people who are good at what they do outside of my bubble. Because if you are broke, or if you don't know rich people, or if you don't know investors, or if you don't know wealthy people, how are you gonna get in touch with a random investor and have them teach you all of their secrets? Okay, maybe you can go onto YouTube and learn a lot there, but you can also learn a lot from books. Start by reading books about personal development and money. Get yourself a copy of Rich Dad Poor Dad, any Dave Ramsey book, The Millionaire Next Door, Think and Grow Rich, and a book by Tony Robbins. Once you start doing that, now you are absorbing information about money, and you're also learning about personal development. How do you stop giving yourself these ceilings on how you can live your life? The first step to getting out of that bubble is to just start absorbing information. I mean, once you start reading these books, you're probably gonna get into this binge of just reading book after book after book and watching YouTube videos, because it's a whole new world and a whole new bubble that you've probably never been exposed to, and you need to just start absorbing. After a while, you are gonna graduate from these books, and you're not gonna get much more value out of reading these books, because now it's time for you to start taking action. But this is where your mindset is so important, because your mindset is what determines your beliefs, and your beliefs are what are going to determine your actions. Like, if you don't believe that you can become successful, then you're not going to take any action to become successful. If you don't believe you can start a business, you're not going to start a business. If you don't believe that somebody like you can invest in real estate, then I can guarantee you are never going to invest in real estate. I used to guest teach entrepreneurship and money management in Detroit public schools, and these were like really rough schools where a lot of kids didn't have two parents in the house, and most of these kids lived in poverty. And when I would go to talk to these kids who were in high school about money management, one of the things that I would talk to them about just to get them excited was, what's your favorite car? What's your dream car? And the answers that I would get from these kids were like, I would drive a Ford Mustang or a Buick. Then I would go back, like, if you could drive any car in the world, what would you drive? And they would give me the same answers: Ford Mustang, Buick. And then I would say, well, why not a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a Rolls Royce? and they would say something like, oh, I don't think I could ever get that car. The first thing you got to do is stop telling yourself you can't do something, because when you do that, you give yourself this limit, this ceiling, this cap, and you got to break out of that. Because we can do a whole lot bigger, but your mind is limiting you. Yeah, maybe you can't get that car right now, but you gotta ask yourself, how can you get it in the future? Now you're not giving yourself a limit. Now you're thinking bigger. Now instead of shutting your brain down, you're wondering, how can you actually make it happen? The reason why this is so hard is not just because we're not taught this in school and because we have to change the way we think, but because now you have to go against what the majority of people think. That's why we call it the minority mindset. As soon as you start to think different like this, the whole world is gonna look at you like you're crazy. Why are you saving your money? Why are you investing your money? What are you trying to do with your money? When I was younger, anytime I made money, my money went to one or two places: my car or my watch. Anytime I made more money, I got an upgrade on my car. If I made more money, then I got a new watch. But once you start to change the way you think, then you're gonna change the way you spend. And when you change the way you spend, people start asking questions and they start to think if you lost your mind. That's when you gotta remember your purpose and your financial education. And as Eric Thomas says, you gotta know your why. Eric Thomas is a motivational speaker, and he was the person I used to listen to all throughout college to get my mindset right. So if you're broke and you're trying to figure out how to not be broke, you gotta work on the financial side of things, start earning more money and start understanding how you can save more money and invest more money, but you also have to work on the mindset side of things. That way you don't relapse into being broke again, because now you need to have the right mindset. If you enjoyed this video, here's a video that I think you'll love, and while you're at it, subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our free finance and business newsletter. And as always, keep hustling. This money needs to be saved as soon as possible, because if you do not have $2,000 saved up for an emergency, you are in financial danger.